Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start the January 3rd, 2017, our New Year meeting. First, we'll have the prayer by Commissioner Keller and the flag by Commissioner Grogan. Pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come before you. We ask a blessing on this year for our city and for our citizens. As we start this new year, give us all a good, prosperous, and healthy new year. We ask a blessing on all of our members here tonight. Please give them the wisdom to make the good decisions for our city. We ask a blessing on all of our staff for the job they do. We ask as the year starts, we keep them all doing well and prospering and helping our city as we grow. We ask a special blessing on all our first responders. Keep them safe as they keep us safe. And Lord, as always, wherever our military are in the world, keep them safe and bring them home to us. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Grogan?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Present.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Firstner?
Here.
Commissioner Keller?
Here.
We have no presentations or proclamations, so we're going to go to comments from citizens. If you have any comments for anything that's not on the agenda tonight, now's the time. If it's on the agenda, then we'll discuss it when it's at that time. All right, staff reports.
I have nothing this evening, Mayor.
Commissioner announcement. Commissioner Keller.
No, I guess about the only thing is, for those of you wondering why the cane, we did have a left knee replacement surgery the day after the last commission meeting. I left here and had to be at the hospital at 5 in the morning so I could have the knee operated on. So we're off the walker, we're back on the cane, so we're making progress. So Happy New Year to everybody, and hope you all had a great holiday. And that's all for now, Mayor.
Commissioner Firstner.
I just wanted to mention that the community grant application is open for the rest of this month. It closes the last day of this month. So take advantage of that. It's a great opportunity. You can pick up your applications either at the city clerk's office or online. That's it.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. Happy New Year. Mayor, this should be of interest to you. I just want to thank the Park and Recreation Board for a wonderful job they did last month. They took 2 nights and went out and searched out all the houses in Ocoee that had wonderful decorations. And when the person woke up in the morning, they found a sign in their yard that said that we were very proud of them. And it was very nice to get feedback from residents who woke up the next morning and found those signs. They weren't for sale signs, but they were, we wondered if they would thought they would have been for sale signs, but they just said that we appreciated them lighting up Ocoee. So again, thank you to the Park and Recreation Board, and thank you to all the residents who decorated their homes so lovely and received those signs. And I think that it'll be an even better event next year by doing that same type of situation. I hope they elect to do that because it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Commissioner Grogan.
I'd like to give a special thank you to Tiffany Schaefer. Today's her last day, and she was the secretary to the commission and the mayor. We will miss her. She's had a few roles in the city. She'll be sorely missed. Thank you for all your work.
Yes, thank you.
All right, well, I was going to do that at the end of the meeting, so I'll still speak at the end of the meeting about Tiffany. So we're going to move to the consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Keller, seconded by Commissioner Grogan. Let's vote. All right, moving right along. If I know the school's here tonight, so and under the first reading, we don't have to do anything tonight except do anything. And then the 17th, you'll be able to. Find where I'm going here. 16. 16.
Yeah.
Public hearing. Comprehensive Plan Amendment, Capital Improvement Element Update, addition of the fiscal year 2016-17 through 21. City Planner Rumor.
This is simply adopting the 5-year capital improvement plan the commission adopted with the budget into the comprehensive plan, part of the concurrency management, the capital improvement element. So it's just a simple public hearing and one reading adoption.
The ordinance is attached in your agenda. I'll read the title of that ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991, as amended in order to comply with Section 163.3177 Florida statutes, amending the capital improvement element of the comprehensive plan, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
I didn't add any projects to the list. We just went with what you got.
All right, do I hear
Make a motion to, do we have to make a motion to approve? Motion to approve?
motion
Second.
made by Commissioner Wilson, do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Grogan. Any more discussion? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. Move on to the first reading of ordinance, item H, number 17. First reading of ordinance for Innovation Montessori of Ocoee, annexation and initial rezoning to A1 Agriculture Project, AX 101659 RZ 16-10-05. City Planner. Read it.
Yeah, let me find it and I'll read the title to the ordinance. Two ordinances. The first is our annexation ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately plus or minus 17.6 acres located on the west side of North Lakewood Avenue and south of Fuller's Cross Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing an effective date. That was the annexation ordinance. The rezoning ordinance is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County A1 to Ocoee A1 General Agriculture on certain real property containing approximately 17.6 acres located on the west side of North Lakewood Avenue and south of Fuller's Cross Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
You have any more comments, Mike?
Nope, on the 17th, we'll bring back these two ordinances, a large-scale preliminary site plan, and a development agreement.
All right. We need a motion. No motion on this one. All right. We'll move to item 18. First reading of ordinance establishing a code enforcement special magistrate. City Attorney Cook.
At the last City Commission meeting, we had a discussion on Code Enforcement Board and whether or not the city would like to keep the Code Enforcement Board and or engage a special magistrate to hear code enforcement cases. At the direction of the City Commission, we prepared an ordinance to amend the code to add a special magistrate in addition to the Code Enforcement Board. The ordinance provides that Code Enforcement Board cases that are residential in nature would primarily be handled by the Code Enforcement Board, and other code enforcement cases that are not residential would be handled by the special magistrate. So unless there's any discussion on that or changes to that ordinance, we'll go ahead and read the title for that ordinance as its first reading. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending Chapter 7 of the City of Ocoee Code relating to the enforcement of code, establishing the code enforcement special magistrate, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing an effective date. Just announce the second.
Yeah. The second reading will be at the public hearing scheduled for January 17th, 2017. All right. Number I, second reading of ordinance, public hearing. Second reading of ordinance for a temporary moratorium on development relating to medical cannabis activities. City Planner Rooney.
This is in response to, there was, in 2014, the legislature passed the Compassionate Medical Cannabis Act, which really had strict limits on the medicinal use of cannabis. And then the Amendment 2 had less stringent requirements than the 2014. So this gives us a chance to look at appropriately locating and coming up with criteria for locating these type of establishments or uses. So we'll be bringing back an ordinance updating the Land Development Code here at some point in the next year on locating those types of facilities or facility. That's it.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to do now is open it up for anybody in the public that wants to make any comments to this ordinance. No comments, we'll move it back to the podium. Anybody at the podium have anything to say?
Let me go ahead and read the title to this ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, implementing a temporary moratorium until December 31, 2017 on the processing and consideration of all applications to the city, including but not limited to applications for development orders, development permits, and building permits where the application relates to medical cannabis activities as more specifically defined in this ordinance, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right. Anybody, any comments? If not, I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan, seconded by Commissioner Keller. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. All right, motion carries unanimously. All right, item J, we have nothing? K, staff action items, any more, Rob?
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
All right, comments from commissioners. Commissioner Grogan.
I'd just like to give a shout out to a colleague and a friend of mine, David Harker, person I work with. He's taken up an interest in city government, and he watches our commission on TV. So, how you doing, Dave? Good luck. That's it.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes. Can't believe it already on March 11th, we're going to be having our 12th annual spring fling. Imagine that. Can't believe it's been 12 years. But this is a fun, free event that is a day filled with games, activities, live demonstrations, all reinforcing safe behavior by our youth and our families. It is, again, it's a free event. We serve hot dogs. We have chips, soda. We have groups there that want to inform the community about what they do. We also have utilities that comes and brings plants for the residents of Ocoee and rain barrels. So it's a fun day, and we hope that our residents will come out for that. Mark your calendar for March 11th. We're also looking for new programs or that want to present their activity that day. It could be anything from nonprofit. I know we have many programs that come, but if you think that you would like to showcase your activity or program that you're with, please give us a call. I can be reached on my cell phone at 407-948-2155, which I'm sure you've all written that down, but you can get it from City Hall, and it's on the website, so feel free to call us. There's about 5 members of the community that have gotten together for the last 12 years to put this together. It's a lot of fun, and it's also an opportunity for us to showcase our city departments. So we mark on your calendar to come, but if you also would like to be a presenter, please get with us, and we'd love to have some new activities. Thank you.
Commissioner First.
I would like to invite everybody to come out for the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade on Monday, January 16th. It will begin at Citrus Elementary at 10 a.m. and go down Clark Avenue and will end up at the mall parking lot. Please come out and show your support and have a good time. Thank you.
Mr. Keller.
I was going to say, I was just going to remind everybody about the Martin Luther King as well, so beat me to it there, Commissioner. But yeah, other than that, that's all I had, Mayor.
Glad to have you back, Commissioner. I'd like to take the time to let everybody know and thank everybody for the year last year. It's been a great get-together of the citizens and the board and the staff to come together to get our revitalization of the downtown. I'm going to do it off the cuff and have Craig come up real quick and just give us a brief overview of what's in the in the future, in the next few months. I know you had a big laid out speech, didn't you?
I've always got a big speech. Thank you, Mayor, members of the commission. Craig Shadricks, Assistant City Manager. We have a full slate planned for this year. We have a number of projects that the commission dutifully approved during the last year, and we are ready to begin. And I will try to think of a good, concise way to do this. If you all recall, this was all begun with the 429 study that we did, and we received some state funding to take a look at the 429 corridor as an employment center, a place to attract jobs. That's going very well. We will be bringing back to you some legislation governing properties in the 429 corridor and how they develop by March of this year. But one of the glaring things that came out of that study effort was we share the primary interchange, the Plant Franklin corridor, with our neighboring city, Winter Garden, and it connects our two downtowns. And thus was born the idea of revitalizing our downtown, and that's something that had been talked about by the commission for years, and we happened to be in the middle of some strategic planning efforts, and that was the one topic that everyone agreed on. And so the perfect storm collided, and the city commission set aside money for us to study revitalizing downtown, which we brought back to you as part of a budget workshop and then an adoption hearing. After that, we created a master plan that created essentially a project list, all these things that we have to do to help downtown revitalization work. And born from that were several very important projects. Blueford Avenue, which is the central north-south spine that cuts through our downtown, that connects us from the north to the south, is going to be getting a massive overhaul and streetscape project. Additionally, we have work that's going to be going on at Main Street, connecting through from Blueford to McGuire. That's something that we're expecting the engineering on next week, so we can go ahead and begin. We also are going to be running water and sewer down Blueford from the main plant, and that work has begun already. The design work's been done. We're ready to start moving pipes now, and I won't ask Charles to come up and verify that. But so 2 main road projects that are ready to get underway. Water and sewer project that's getting underway. But there's a lot of fun things that the commission decided on as well, including the movement of this building up to the corner of McKee and Blueford. And for those of you in our live studio audience, we have had numerous issues over the years with this building sinking and leaning towards beautiful Stark Lake, and that combined with an economic value of anchoring downtown up there at the corner of McKee and Blueford was one of the big needs that not only the citizens as part of the master plan process saw, but the commission as well. And so that's a major project that's going to be getting underway. Additionally, we have a couple other big projects that I'll just touch on. We have the expansion of the Ocoee Lakeshore Center. That's one thing that, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Wish we could have built that Lakeshore Center bigger, because there's a niche market to accommodate events of around 500 people or more. And the commission on that project list voted to expand the Lakeshore Center Event Center campus by adding an addition that would accommodate those types of events. And so those are very big, high-profile projects, talking about creating new civic buildings that will be used by the public for the public benefit. We're very excited about the City Hall project. But there's a whole number of other road projects that are going to be happening, such as the construction of Oakland Avenue and the creation of a trail to connect to the West Orange Trail. And that's a huge component when you look at the Winter Garden success story, which has happened in recent years. You know, as late as 1995, you could see tumbleweeds blowing through the middle of town over there. And one of the big things, if you ask any of their senior level staffers what the number one thing that helped revitalize Winter Garden was, it was the movement and creation of the West Orange Trail spur through downtown. And that's one of the things that we wanted to make a big priority. And the commission, again, accommodated that recommendation by including it in the approved projects list. So Oakland is going to be another big, major project, which will have beautiful streetscape, a trail going down the middle of it. And, you know, when you start talking about all these road projects, we also are going to, in the interim, do a revitalization of Taylor, including the construction of 2 roundabouts. That's going to be a really nice interim gateway as we are working through the process with DOT to finalize an alignment for Silver Star and Franklin to come together in a major gateway. But when you think about, we've got to construct all these road projects, we want to build a new city hall, we want to expand the Lakeshore Center, where's all the water going to go that runs off? And one of the perhaps the least attractive but most important things that you approved was that we could build a master stormwater system that would serve downtown as well as the new public projects that are getting underway. And the good news about that is it will, by the time we're finished with it, will be a very attractive project because it's going to be developed as a public amenity in the form of a nice pond with a grassy lawn and some boardwalk space. And it's going to connect to the creek improvements, which we have right out here just to the north of City Hall. We have this nice ditch. It's going to be transformed into a cascading series of pools that will clean the water as it drains the master stormwater system into Stark Lake. Something that we don't have quite the level of treatment that we have currently. We don't have quite that level of treatment. So we're going to be adding an environmental benefit to Stark Lake, which we all know is a Fab 5 lake. The last thing, and I'll kind of bring it back to City Hall, is we included in this master plan, and we have significant dollars in the budget for this effort, and that's to transform this campus that we're on into the premier lakefront park. And that also includes boardwalks, that includes a much enhanced grassy assembly space, possibly an amphitheater, possibly splash pads. And where this building sits currently, the master plan identified spots that we could attract commercial business and possibly have, you know, some small commercial buildings here that would create places where people might want to come eat and hang out. And when we finish the lakefront and creek improvements, you're going to have waterfront on both sides of this area. So between this building and the annex, there's going to be some nice land that we can do an RFP on to possibly have some local businesses set up in here. And then you start to see that kind of place. Now, the last thing that we approved with that, and that's something that will come back to you for amendment into the Land Development Code, is the urban design standards. When you want to build a downtown and your code creates suburbia, you got to create a code that's going to create an urban environment. In other words, the look that you have in downtown Winter Park, Winter Garden, where the buildings are up on the street, and you have the wide sidewalks where you can have tables and dining and such. We will be bringing back the code for that piece, and that will be the final piece of the puzzle. We have RFQs drafted up for the bulk of those projects, and they will start hitting the street very soon. We expect, like I said, engineering on Main Street next week. as well as a major update on the Blueford Avenue streetscape. And we will be circling our wagons. Now, if you want to learn more about these projects, we have a button at the top of the city webpage on the home page called Downtown. When you click on that, it takes you to the project list of approved funded projects. And what you'll see if you click on it today is there's a lot of information missing. That information is going to be populated very soon with timeline information, stage of project development, all the things that people are going to want to know about those. And we're also internally discussing having a couple of additional community meetings just to apprise the huge group of Ocoee citizens that supported the master plan development to keep them in the loop as we begin development, because things are going to change. There's going to be some inconveniences along the way. No one likes detours, but there's going to be quite a few detours as things really start getting underway. And I want to thank all the members of the staff team and the commission and the members of the public that have participated thus far. And the easy part's over with, the talking and the plan preparation. Now we've got to bring it home and get it constructed and come in under budget.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Greg. Anybody have any comments to make? I will say that we're all looking forward to the time to do this, so I think we're all ready for it. So I know the staff's been working hard at getting us to there, so I think this is going to be a great year for the city of Ocoee. I will make a comment. I know Craig was supposed to talk for an hour, and he's short, so this is the night we have to read the Robert's Rules of Order, so it only takes 680 pages, so I'll get started. Just kidding. We're not reading that tonight.
Did you want to be alone here?
Hey, it's going to be a quick meeting, first meeting of the year. Don't get used to this. So we welcome everybody back. January 17th, we'll be meeting and take care of some of the issues. So everybody have a great new year, and let's get started on our new revitalization. Thank you.